Good afternoon, folks. This is Tong Vu from Remax Gold. Now, I normally do these type of videos live on Facebook, but for some odd reasons, Facebook just cuts me off. I don't know if it's a software glitch or maybe a glitch from my camera software. I still haven't figured it out. I'm beginning to think that maybe it's just the camera because I tried it on Microsoft Edge with Facebook and it was still doing the same thing. So I'm not sure. I mean, at the very beginning it was working just fine, but suddenly now it's pausing and I can still be talking and people can still be hearing me, but the picture just froze and stays in its spots and it won't change. So anyway, now, today's topic that I want to talk to you guys about, and a lot of people, never heard of this. It's dealing with Melloo Roos taxes, and a lot of people don't know that what Melloo Roos tax is all about. So, when you buy a home, you normally have a property tax that you pay annually. When you purchase a home, you have an impound account. Okay, and in this impound account, your bank will collect an extra amount of money. Now, your mortgage is totally different from your annual property taxes and your Melloo Roos taxes. That's the one of the thing that people don't get. Okay, when they go out and they buy their mortgage or interest rate, and they ask the loan officer, loan officers usually just give you a principal and interest, but they don't sometimes give you what you're all the complete pictures, which includes what you're paying on property taxes, insurance. Okay, so those are the things that people are unaware of. But once you get the complete payment, your bills actually, mortgage payment actually goes up tremendously, about $4,500 from what's quoted. And that's the one thing that people have to think about. When you go to a mortgage lender, you ask them the entire payment. That includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. They call it PITI. Okay, and a lot of people don't ask for that. They just basically said, and the improper questions that you always ask lender is, people always ask is, and it's very common, is how much am I going to pay a month for this bill? I mean, if I was to purchase this house, and they'll just tell you, oh yeah, hey, for $200,000 you'll be paying this much, and the buyer would just say, oh great, I can afford it. But towards the very end of the closing, and I can see that why a lot of people get cold feet is when they see the actual cost. The whole entire mortgage includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And they will just probably say, well, I can't afford that much, and they probably try to get out of it. But once you're in it, it's hard to get out. That's the reason why it's important to ask the perfect question, the right way. What is my principal, interest, taxes, and insurance? Instead of what am I paying for, or how much will it cost me or per month? Okay. So, on to the actual topic that I want to talk to you guys about today. Now, the topic today I want to talk to you guys about is Melloo Roos. What is Melloo Roos tax? Okay. Now, every month you get when you buy a house and when you purchase a home, and you you don't want to save up the money and pay the tax at the end of the year, you create an impound account. Okay. This impound account is part of your lender. They will create this impound account, and in this impound account will contain your taxes and your homeowner's insurance, and they'll collect that money. And at the end of the year, fiscal year, like between April and June, they'll pay it off for you. Now, what happens when your impound account becomes short? When it becomes short, you have the options, and your bank will notify you that you're short, and you have the options to either pay it or finance it. When you finance it, then your mortgage goes up. When you pay it off, then of course your mortgage will go up by maybe at least $100 to $200. Okay, and that is to cover the shortages for the next fiscal years when they collect it. So, what causes these these taxes to go up? Well, the honest truth is, any times when you see any sorts of improvement repairs that are being made. And a lot of people don't pay attention to when you are a homeowners, all these propositions that are being proposed, or all of these secondary, prop that comes up. There's someone's paying for it, and guess what? When they're proposing for a park to be built, the homeowners are paying for it. When they're proposing for a levees to be fixed, well, guess what? The homeowners are paying for it. Street improvement, homeowners are paying for it. So that's the reason why sometimes your Melloo Roos goes up and down depending on what sort of improvement they are making in the area that you're living in. Okay, and that's what they call Melloo Roos taxes. Also for education too as well. So one of the things that people always don't pay attention to is every year they always have these propositions that are being proposed and they placed on the ballot. And a lot of people don't pay attention to who's paying for it. Now, the honest truth is, most of the time, you, the homeowners, are paying for it. As homeowners, we are also paying some Melloo Roos taxes towards schools too as well. So, any changes to the school or increase or programs or anything like that, sometimes they will place it on as part of the Melloo Roos tax. So those are the changes that you guys have to pay attention to. Anyway, back to the story. So I got a call. Okay, I had a client, and this client, of course, is an uncle of mine. And about 2 weeks ago, he called me. He was really irate. He was really, really mad. Now, take it that I'm a realtor and I sell homes. I don't deal anything that's financings or in the financial sectors. But the fortunate part of this story is that I started this career in the real estate industry as a loan officer. So I'm pretty much very well versed in the financial world too as well. But anyway, this client of mine called me. I sold his home about like maybe 5 years ago, and he was really upset. He was really mad because somehow I had made a promise to him that his interest rate will not go up, his mortgage payment will not go up at all. And now he's angry at me because of the fact that his mortgage payment has gone up by $400. And he wants me to reimburse him for $400 that he paid off. And I'm like, wait a second here, I'm trying to be nice. And I started asking him questions because it was right within the time frame when the lender has paid off the impound, the taxes and the insurance. Okay, so I started asking him a question. I said, well, I didn't do your loan for you, but I can take a look at the loan, and I'll continue to look at your documentations and see what you signed, because whatever that was signed between you and the loan officers, whatever was promised was between you and then the loan officers, and all the documents you sign is that promissory notes to you. So I cannot address that until I actually see what you sign. Okay, so it was a few days later, he sent me all the documents, and I was looking at it. Of course, he did get a 30-year fixed loan, and up till now, his mortgage payment went up. So I started questioning, and so did you get a piece of paper from the tax assessor's office or from your bank, okay, saying that your impound account is short, and the bank has to pay pay a little bit more, and they're asking you to see if you want to finance the difference or you want to pay the difference towards your bank? Okay, and he said, well, there was something that came to the mail, but we didn't know what it was. Oh, okay. So was that from the bank? He said, yes, that was from the bank. So I started to explain to him about Melloo Roos taxes. Okay, because there was a increase in Melloo Roos taxes on his property taxes that he sent me. And I told him, I said, look, the thing is, every year, the taxes are often, if not estimated. Okay, any changes that are made throughout that whole entire year, like say for example, they made a proposition or made some sort of improvement, then it's charged to the homeowners. It's the cost is shared among all the homeowners within that community. Okay, and so he said, well, there always seems to be no improvement. I said, of course, I've sold him the house, so I know exactly where he lives. And I said, well, there were improvements to your area. Remember the levee? The levee system? They were making a lot of repairs on the levee. And they were also making a new off-ramp, on-ramp on that area too as well. That's the reason why your cost went up. And he was like, oh, is that is that what it is? I said, yes, that's what it is, exactly what it is. And I'm looking at it and I said, look, you can compare. And I told him to give him some homework. I said, compare the Melloo Roos taxes to the Melloo Roos taxes from the previous year. Okay, you'll see that the property taxes from the previous year is less. That's the reason why you are short. Okay, and so in order for you guys, for those people that are wondering, can I prevent this? How can I prevent my mortgage from increasing? The lesson is that you probably can't prevent it, but you can prevent it from increasing it to the point where it's reaching $300 to $400. Okay, what you can do is you could pay for it, the difference. Okay, I know that sometimes with a lot of family it is hard to do because cash is not always readily available. Okay, and so what you can do is, like for example, me personally. I had a mortgage. My impound account was short, and it was short of $2,000. Okay, and so if I hadn't paid for that $2,000, the bank was gonna finance it, and I was gonna end up paying a $500 increase on my mortgage payment, monthly mortgage payment. That's quite a hefty jump, from paying $1,400 to almost $2,000, per month. So what I did was I just went ahead and paid for it. And when I found out was that they have charged me for the school tax. There was some improvement to the educational or programs added to the educations. So they charged me for it. And of course, they also charged me for improvements to the freeways. And I was just like, there's something that I can't say or something that I can't do. And it is something that is shared among homeowners. So that is the idea of Melloo Roos taxes. So one big takes that I want you guys to also understand is that when it comes to finance, those financial questions actually goes to your loan officers. Realtors, a lot of times, they just only sold homes. Unless they are like me, where they have worked in the real financial industries before, then yes, we as realtors these agents can answer your questions. I, for example, can answer the question because I have experience in that industry. So, anyway, pay attention to your Melloo Roos, and also pay attention to all these propositions that are being proposed on the ballots. And the first question is that people should be asking is, who's paying for it? Am I paying for it? Am I the taxpayer that's going to be paying for it? Okay, so those are the questions that you should ask before you mark yes on every single propositions that comes out in the November ballot. And I just want people just to pay attention. Not being political here, okay? I'm not trying to be political, but as a property owner myself, and a taxpayers, I always have to question these questions all the time. Who's paying for it? Or is it being charged to me? I mean, the thing is that it could be just a penny or so. But yes, a penny or so can make a huge difference when it comes to actually paying them. So anyway, this is Tong Vu from Remax Gold. I hope you do enjoy this little segment about Melloo Roos taxes and a little bit about your impound account. But if you do have any questions at all, please do let me know. Please private message me, and definitely I will try to answer the question as much as possible. Okay? All right, this is Tong from Remax Go. I'll talk to you guys later.